So I want to talk about Daiki Kanechika, who is a comedian and actor, 31 years old, and he has been recently on the news because of some trouble. So he was found to have some relations to a criminal group, to a boss of this criminal group who was based in the Philippines. Just to simplify, he had some PR events that were canceled due to the fact that he had this connection. So this is the way that Japanese entertainment works. If you're suspected of a relation to a mafia, or if you're found to be using drugs, your career has an impact, and not in a good way. But how about in the West? How about in Europe or in America? What happens there? Well, I can tell you right away, it depends on his talent. So the greater you are perceived to be, the less of an effect this has on your image and career. For example, everyone knows that the most famous case is of Frank Sinatra, who had ties with some mafia families, but he was too big of a star to be a problem, and he had a longer successful career. Same with Diego Armando Maradona, was a soccer player in the Napoli team. He was photographed with Camorra guys, and but people still loved him because he was great, and nobody really cared. Let's compare, for example, Maradona with Franco Franchi, was also a comedian, an Italian comedian, who was rumored to have some connection with the mafia. And after that, he was never the same. In a sense, the perception that people had of him changed. I remember people grew a sense of dislike for that, for this rumor. There was maybe some pictures that were caught with him with these mafia families, but nothing else. Same with another famous Italian TV host, Enzo Tortora, who was falsely accused of some mafia ties, and his career really had an impact. Basically, his show was dropped from TV, and he had to go through an actual trial. But as you see, the last two cases, we're talking about very famous people, but not outstanding talents, and that is what made the difference. As with the case of Diego Armando Maradona, he was just like a god for the people who venerated him, not just in Naples but everywhere in Italy, and people who loved the sport. He was the true number one. He was the world champion. Yeah, sure, his image, people talked about it, but he had fans all over. So we could say that in the West, we are willing to forgive someone's bad acquaintance if the person we think deserves a pass. That is, if he brings to the table his talent, and that talent by far exceeds whatever bad deed he may have done.